to condemn the use of physical power to secure things, to settle disputes, to determine resource control, to come to consensus about the legitimate state of ownership and chain of custody and property. We shouldn't be so quick to condemn the use of physical power just because it's highly energy intensive or just because it is prone to causing physical injury, because nature proves that's what's best for survival. Yes. That's why we find powerful people attractive, right, intelligent people attractive, because they're quite good at this. Right. That's why pack animals do sexual dimorphism and optimize for power projection. That's why, despite every attempt that sapiens have ever tried to instantiate something other than a physical power-based resource control hierarchy, it has resulted in massive scale war, massive scale systemic abuse, exploitation, and oppression. By saying power is bad and ethically bad, we're actually causing ourselves systemically to slaughter each other at way higher scales than any other animal, and even our own sapiens did 10,000 years ago. Right. And that's what Bitcoin solves. Yes. Because the problem isn't the use of physical power to establish resource control over, because we can't replace it. We've tried. Right. Right. What Bitcoin does is say, okay, it acknowledges, I accept that there is no way that you can achieve the complex emergent behavior in terms of security as physical power can. I accept that any form of abstract power cannot achieve the same complex emergent behavior. Okay? But at the very least, we can make it electric. We can take the mass out of it. Mm-hmm. We can generate power using charge across resistor, and we can achieve something that doesn't cause physical injury. And we get to a point, stake is regression. We're right there. We are so close to figuring it out and scaling this globally, and to go back to the world of stake, to go back to this belief that the use of physical power to establish pecking order is bad just because it uses injury. It is so scary, and it's so sad because, God, we're just right there. All it will take is a couple more people to see it, and we could dramatically restructure human society and escape from this agrarian prison that we've been in for the last 10,000 years. But you can't condemn the use of watts. You can't condemn people who use physical power. And so when I get all this shit on Twitter for being part of the active military, and when people shit all over, the military industrial complex, it's like, you don't understand from a systemic perspective. You're making the same anti-proof of work argument that proof of stake people do. And it's like, how can I figure out a way to actually explain this in a way that people can understand, so that we don't, because like the alternative is war. Mm-hmm. There is no replacement for physical power for settling disputes in a fair way, in a meritocratic way. Will never be a replacement for physical power for determining resources control authority over resources. There is no replacement for physical power for achieving fair consensus on the legitimate state and chain of custody of any form of property.